Emily, thank you. Acorns, bark, moss, and tree sap. Believe it or not, it's dinner made from wild food resources. One New York chef is serving up this unique cuisine in his basement restaurant. And as CCTV's Shraysi Tandon reports, the wait list for reservations stretches for almost a decade.
We have lots of wild native hickory nut trees on the property. They're great for making oil, flour.
He creates the kind of food many of us dream about. Chef and owner Damon Baehrel opened his eponymous restaurant in the basement of his home more than 20 years ago, and the demand has been explosive. Food enthusiasts and patrons from all over the world travel to the small town of Earlton, New York to experience Damon's food. The $255 base price will get you a 15 to 20 course meal spread out over 5 hours. Almost everything served comes from Damon's 12-acre property. For Damon, farm-to-table dining is old news. Foraging or looking for wild food resources is a trend that has gained a lot of momentum in recent years. Damon calls his cuisine native harvest, living off the land. Ingredients such as pine needles, moss, ferns, pulp, bark, and even the sap of trees. Everything gets used in Damon's cooking.
See, that's what sap looks like when it comes out of a tree. It looks essentially like water. And I have a few of them that I'm going to have you try that I harvested last night, believe it or not.
Damon never uses butter or sugar in any of his cooking. He serves me a slush preparation which looks like a sorbet but is instead made from clover, wild violet leaves and stems, and stevia.
Got to have a little sour contrast to that. And what I have for you here is a moss powder that I made actually last spring. As I mentioned, there is that window every spring as the moss comes out of dormancy where it's got a sour flavor. It's not really a fancy name, sour moss powder. Really creative. And again, I'm just going to dust a little on here for you, and a little on top and a little around the plate, because what I want you to do is be able to control the sourness.
I have never tasted anything like that before in my life.
Well, I hope you liked it.
I loved it. Over the next hour, Damon prepares and cooks some of his favorite dishes for me. Pine flour crackers that were more than a year in the making, topped with foraged oyster mushrooms and butternut oil. This cracker took 1 year to make.
Over a year. And it's just a bite.
About 5 seconds.
5 seconds, that's all it's.
Bread using 3 types of flour, an acorn flour cone, which also took a year to make, which is then filled with milkweed pods and a cattail stem, with green eggplant cooked in birch sap rolled in white oak acorn. Hogtails, hog neck, and pork loin cured and brined with pine needles and hickory sap. The loin is then served with winter roots cooked in a rutabaga stock. Diners from over 50 countries around the world have sat at one of these tables right here behind me to take in the 20-course extravaganza. But if you want a seat at Damon Baehrel's restaurant, you're going to have to put your name down soon because the wait list is almost 10 years long.
These are actually wild.
Damon is not only the owner and chef of Damon Baehrel, he's also the waiter, the cheesemaker, the grower, the gardener, and the forager. Even in the dead of winter, Damon is constantly looking for new inventive ways to push the envelope in the culinary world. I mean, it's amazing. To the average person, you look at this and you think, but you look at this and you think, dinner. Shraysi Tandon, CCTV, New York.